My Hero Academia manga chapter 276. So we had a 2-week wait, and let me just say this right now. This chapter was definitely worth the wait because as much as I know Horikoshi needs a break every now and then, it sucks when it's announced that we get a break or a 2-week or 1-week hiatus from the manga, because I look forward to this manga every single week because that's just how good this arc's been. The arc's been that good, man. I just want more and more of it. I get mad every time I finish a chapter, and it's been a while since I followed a series that good, weekly at least. But let me get into the chapter. Boku no Hero Academia manga chapter 276. The chapter's titled Cheaters. And it's kind of a weird title compared to the other titles that we've gotten in the past, but I guess they're referencing Shigaraki and how OP he's gotten at such a fast rate compared to, you know, how much work All Might or someone like Deku or any other of the pro heroes had to go through. So we start off the chapter and we do get the revelation that the helicopters, the media, the cameras are all here. And they're broadcasting what's going on at the city from Jakku City from above. And this is good to know because we were wondering for a while now how long it's going to take the media to notice what's going on. You know, the people outside of the city. And they're here. So they're basically telling everybody that there's some kind of destruction going on in the city and there's just too much smoke. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they know it's another terrorist attack similar to the one that happened in Hosu and Deka City in the My Villain Academia arc. Then we quickly get a cut to All Might at UA. So we get confirmation that All Might, he's not at the prison like a lot of people thought he was going to be at. He's actually at UA with Eri, of all people. Eri's sitting on his lap and he's watching the news and seeing them reporting all the destruction, and he knows what's going on. Because, you know, All Might, even though he doesn't have his quirk, he has the connection to the entire hero society. Then we get a few panels of the main trio's characters, the main trio's family members, notably Midoriya's mom, Mama Midoriya, Fuyumi, Todoroki's mom, Natsuo, and even Bakugo's mom, funny enough. She's looking at a book of, I guess, Bakugo's baby pictures or something like that. And then we finally get another panel of All For One. And All For One's been in prison for 100 chapters now, but we see him a lot. And it's always just him sitting there. We see All For One. We've been seeing All For One quite a bit in this arc, actually. And we switch right up into where we left off from chapter 275. We got Aizawa about to face off against Shigaraki. So we see Endeavor, and he's not down for the count. He dashes toward Shigaraki, and I just gotta say the art in this chapter is magnificent. I just love the way Horikoshi draws Shigaraki. It just looks so cool. And Endeavor charges towards Shigaraki, and Shigaraki grabs that cell phone and he orders somebody to kill anyone in sight. And we figure out who that somebody is later on in the chapter. So we see Ryuku and Endeavor charge off at Shigaraki, as well as Endeavor's sidekick named Kiddo. And Endeavor, he wastes no time at all. He basically charges up a full power prominence burn and hell fire, what is it called? The hell spider move. He charges up a full power one of those at Shigaraki. Notably, you got to note that Shigaraki's so overpowered because this chapter just really shows how strong he is, because this entire chapter, you got to remember, Shigaraki has no quirk. He has no quirk right now. Aizawa's been staring at him for the last chapter. And we even see the one of the heroes that Ida mentored over during the Stain arc at Hosu City. What was his name? Manuel. That hero, he's using his power to keep Aizawa's eyes moist, I guess. He's using his water to make it so he doesn't blink. Because we got to remember, if Aizawa blinks, it's over. Shigaraki could just do another high-level decay that he did right before this. He could do this and it'd be over in a snap. All the heroes that can't fly would be pretty screwed. So we see Endeavor use a full power flash fire fist and prominence burn. and it literally does nothing to Shigaraki. A quirkless Shigaraki dodges it instantly. It's pretty hard to tell with the way Horikoshi drew it. I don't know if his arm got blown off and then it regenerated instantly, but we see Shigaraki with a damaged arm, and Endeavor quickly notices that and just has this inner monologue of, wow, that kid's strength, it's literally like All Might's, and this is him without a quirk. And we get some correction on that from the doctor on the next panel, and he says, it's not on par with All Might himself, but the excessive modifications that I've done to Shigaraki's body has made him pretty damn close. So we basically get Endeavor and Riku getting bodied by Shigaraki for a little more panels, which is cool. This arc has been so action-packed. I just can't wait till this gets animated, man. What is this going to be, season 6? It's going to be crazy. So then we flash over to Deku and Bakugo and Gran Torino, and they're basically saying that Deku and Bakugo need to stay away at all costs. Because at the end of the day, Deku losing his quirk is the worst thing that can happen in this moment. So obviously Deku, being the main protagonist and hero that he is, he wants to go help fight too, because he wants to be a true hero as well, and so does Bakugo. They don't want to run. Those two never want to run. So Gran Torino basically says, yeah, Mr. Aizawa is in trouble, but you losing your quirk is a much worse consequence. And they really just have to let that sink in for a minute and consider that outcome. And it's true at the end of the day. As much as they care about their teacher, they can't let Shigaraki take Deku's quirk, because then it's all over. Then we get a flash over to about like maybe it looks like dozens of heroes that can fly are heading over towards Shigaraki to help defeat him and all. And then we get to see Deku, Bakugo, and Gran Torino making this hilarious face, which isn't that hilarious once we see what they're actually looking at. And it looks like it's like 1, 2, there's like 8 or 9 high-end Nomus that just come out of nowhere. And they're just charging towards Shigaraki, trying to fight all the heroes that they see in their way. And that's who Shigaraki was communicating with on the cell phone. It was the high-end Nomu. And what we realize is that Shigaraki, he now has control over his decay quirk. So once he decayed the entire hospital, he made sure to keep the things that he wanted to keep safe untouched, including some of the high-end Nomu. And he woke those high-end Nomu up last chapter when he used his radio wave quirk, because remember, you need a jolt of electricity to wake a high-end Nomu up. That's how Shigaraki got woken up. So we see all the high-end Nomu charging, which things are just getting way, way more crazy and chaotic. And we see Shigaraki standing on top of just almost a completely defeated Endeavor and Ryuku. And he's standing on top of them with looks like one arm, and he's doing the All Might pose. It's just, Shigaraki's so cocky, and he's so strong. I don't see how the heroes are going to beat someone like this when the number one hero is literally nothing to Shigaraki. Endeavor is nothing to him at this point. So there's more and more chaos. Obviously, Shigaraki wants to take out Aizawa because Aizawa is blocking his quirks right now. So he orders the Hyans to kill everyone they see in sight, including Aizawa. And once Shigaraki defeats Endeavor and Ryukyu, he goes straight for Aizawa. He dashes towards them with that super speed that he used in a few chapters before that we've seen with his legs. And once Aizawa sees Shigaraki coming at him, Aizawa just thinks, he's like, this guy's too strong. He was like, and Shigaraki says, you're a hindrance, Eraserhead. And Aizawa just thinks, he says, is this where I die? Like, he saw death similar to the way that Deku and Bakugo saw death a couple chapters ago. And Aizawa thinks to himself about the first time that he ever met Deku when they did the ball throwing test, or Bakugo, during like season 1 of the anime, the very beginning of the series. And he thinks to himself of everyone in Class A, including Shinso. We get a nice spread of all the members of Class A, Shinso included. And he says, I have to watch over you until the day you graduate and become heroes. Because he doesn't want to die here. And he pulls out his knife. Sometimes I forget that Aizawa actually has knives and weapons. And obviously a knife's not going to do anything to Shigaraki. But Shigaraki's charging at him, about to kill Aizawa. And we get Deku, last minute clutch as always, just like in the overall arc. He comes out of nowhere with, it looks like a full power, full cowling to get over there with his legs. And he grabs Shigaraki by both arms and tackles him. And then we get this really cool panel of Bakugo saying, it's our turn to save you, because Bakugo's right behind Deku. So that's where the chapter ends. This is crazy because I think we're finally going to get that Deku and Bakugo team up that isn't the movie, obviously. And Shigaraki without a quirk, yeah, he's OP. You know, if Aizawa keeps on looking at Shigaraki and negates his quirk, yeah, he's OP, but I think Deku and Bakugo could at least buy the other heroes some time to get to Shigaraki and hopefully defeat him, because he seems OP. But at the end of the day, Shigaraki still got his ace up his sleeve, which is obviously Giganto Makia and the rest of the villains from the mansion that are coming over here. So I don't know how things are gonna hold up, but I'm looking forward to the next chapter as always, man. There's gonna be so much action in the next one, and two things that I'm really interested in for the next chapter. Number one is Deku and Shigaraki's conversation, because you gotta remember, these two haven't talked since the very first season of the anime. They haven't talked. It's been a long time since they've met face to face, so I want to see how that conversation goes. I think it's going to do a lot for Deku's character development and also Shigaraki's character development. It's going to be really interesting to see Deku come face to face with who's going to be, at the end of the day, the end game villain of the series. Even if we have a time skip, Deku versus Shigaraki is going to be the final fight of the series, so it's going to be cool to get a little sneak peek of that. But the number one thing that I'm looking forward to that I think a lot of people didn't really realize in this chapter, when you look at the first page of the chapter and you see All Might with Eri, you gotta notice that Eri, her horn is gone, which is crazy, because that means that Eri, she's used her quirk in this little 4-month time skip that we got right before this arc started. And there's also no Mirio to be seen in this chapter, so I'm not saying that Mirio's back, Lemillion's back, and he has his power back, but Eri's horn, her horn's gone. It went back down, and remember, Horikoshi, he used all these panels and opportunities to let the reader know that, yo, Eri's horn is growing, it keeps growing. So it would be cool to see what she did with her quirk, and if Mirio got his quirk back. But other than that, I think we're getting a chapter next week, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to keep busting out these reviews, so like and subscribe if you like the video, and leave a comment down below. Peace.